welcome to movie reviews with Tankcramer and Will Peppa MD. We're just gonna get right into it. So this week we watched what did we watch?
Without Remorse.
Without Remorse. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan. He was the perfect guy for this movie. I mean, he is the perfect action kind of guy. That was awesome. Right. Yeah. When did you watch it? Because it came out Friday. I watched mine this morning.
I watched mine actually today. I want to say real fresh, about 4 hours ago, 3-4 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely still like lingering in my mind. All the stuff that went down.
Yeah. So it's it was like a little less than 2 hours, which I think is a good time for a movie like that.
Right.
You know, I think anything over would have been a little too much. But we got Alfredo's in chat. What's up, Alfredo? He goes, are there spoilers? Oh, yes. Yeah.
There will be spoilers.
So this movie came out not in theaters. It came out on Amazon Prime Video. So if you have Amazon Prime, which mostly everyone does, you get to watch it as part of your subscription. Shot really good. Man, I watched most of it on my phone and some of it on my TV. It looked sharp. It looked really clear, clean. A lot of it was really dark because, soldier, nighttime spy kind of stuff. Right. But man, the video quality was really good. Really, really good. So yeah, man, you want to watch the trailer and then we'll get into the breakdown?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so again, no audio. We're gonna try to avoid it, but we can kind of talk as it goes by. Okay. So obviously he gets a little shot up. Tom Clancy, who big into all of these spy, military
espionage
kind of.
Yeah.
That's like early in the movie is when he finds these Russian guys coming into that was that in the movie? I don't remember that part. Where he's on the bed.
No, I don't think he yelled. Right? He didn't have enough energy. He didn't have enough energy to yell out.
They just left him on the floor.
That's when he was on the bed and he's like watching over and checking for his daughter. And then did he scream? I don't think he screamed.
No, I think it went to like a weird campfire kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, where like it was a campfire, or they were laying in the leaves, and then she got like pulled away. That scene was awesome. That's like the opening scene.
Oh yeah. It goes. Yeah. That was his little his vision that he had.
Yeah.
Of losing his family. Right. He's going through like internal struggles as he's going through external struggles throughout this whole film. Yeah. You're gonna see him. He's not afraid to die. You see this guy. He'll fight you in jail. He'll fight you anywhere on the street, and it's on site. When it comes to Michael B. Jordan's character, what's his name? John Kelly. Clark. He does whatever it takes to get the job done. He even says that on to one of his officials that he's reporting to. He's like, "Yeah, man, I should definitely be in on this mission because look what I did the past weekend. Like that was my audition. Carry it on like that."
Yeah, look what I did in the jail. Like that was pretty sick when like he lights the car on fire. Like, what's he gonna do? He lit it on fire and then he walked into the car.
In the car. How did he know that it wasn't gonna blow up at that time? He was just ballsy, just so ballsy.
That was like, damn, man. He just like walked up in there and just like, I was like, ooh, okay, this guy, that was badass. Because I'm like, oh, he's not gonna get any information. He's just gonna set him on fire. And then next thing you know is like he just goes in there and starts like interrogating this dude. I was like, that's pretty sick. But yeah, it looked like the trailer had a few scenes that weren't in the movie that at least I don't remember. Maybe if I watch it again.
We probably missed it.
Yeah, might have missed it. But yeah, man, this was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really good. High action, like we said earlier. It starts off with like crazy action. Fredo, you should know these guys are the king of spoilers. We should just call that that there you go. There's the name of our show. Spoiler Kings.
Spoiler Kings. Like that. Show them the
ring.
There you
go.
Got the
Spoiler
crown.
King movie review. There you go.
Bam.
But yeah, man. So it was really, really, really well done. I'm not a big Tom Clancy fan because it gets a little repetitive. I feel
Okay.
like all his kind of stuff is kind of similar. Same
Right.
thing. Why I was never a big Sherlock Sherlock
Sherlock
uh
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes kind of fan because
Right.
it was all the same. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're smart. Yeah.
Right. He keeps
So
giving the fans what they want. That's all it is.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
you do
But
what
I
works.
gotta,
The stories
yeah.
work.
Yeah, and this one I never played any of the games. I know my dad and some other people played some of the games. Never played any of the games. The only book I ever read was Rainbow Six.
Okay.
So that's all my only kind of thing into Tom Clancy. So I don't know if you've read or played games.
No, no, not really. I haven't had much background for Tom Clancy film or books, but it's always kind of sparked my interest. I've always seen it from the side, like maybe I should dig into that, but I
Well,
haven't
Splinter Cell.
really.
Did you ever play Splinter
Oh,
Cell?
oh,
Is
besides
the
Splinter
game
Cell, besides Splinter Cell. Oh yeah,
that
so
was like the
that is
big
one
one?
game that I did play. With
That was a
what
Tom
was his name?
Clancy.
What was his name? Splinter Cell, main
Yeah.
guy, Ma-
Oh,
Mason,
it's
something
been
like that.
so long, man. Mason and something. I'm sure Martin might know.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's
those are dope.
even that game. Like, I didn't play too much. I wasn't a big Xbox person. I was a
Okay.
PlayStation one, and then so I never really played
So
that.
you know what? I played that on. I don't know if it was PS2. It was crazy, man. In the early days of multiplayer, where I had to buy like there you go, Sam Fisher. That was his name.
Damn, for sure.
I had to buy like an adapter for a network input. That's like a plug-in for my
Mhm.
Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
And I was playing. I remember this one scene back in the day, or this one map where you're in like a movie, or not a movie, a museum or art museum type arena. So like it was real dope, man. The way you can go behind the artwork and you'll see the artwork, you'll be shooting motherfuckers and super cool. So he definitely has a knack for vision or for making things look pretty
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And Splinter Cell was always a big game, but I mean, whether you're like, I think any kind of like person right now, it's hard to not know who Tom Clancy is. His name is just anything military. It's bam, Tom Clancy's on there. Whether it be movie,
Facts
video game, Jack Ryan. I mean, dude, his stuff is everywhere.
for sure.
So I read a little bit into this one, so I know Without Remorse plays into the Jack Ryan universe a little bit. And I'm not quite sure how, because I never really watched any of the Jack Ryan stuff. The
Yeah.
Tom Cruise or the other dude, I forgot, Jim from The Office. I can't think of his real name. But
Uh,
he's the new Jack Ryan on Amazon.
oh, okay,
Um,
that's right. That's right. Oh,
but
he is playing the new Jack Ryan.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah.
And he's
So I
doing
don't
good.
know
He's
how it
doing
ties
great.
in. Yeah, I heard
I heard
it's really good. I heard it's
he
really, really
he
good.
he was like kind of behind some of the writing too, wasn't he? Or towards the directing or something like that.
Maybe probably directing. I know he's all into that kind of stuff. John
Yeah.
Krasinski. There we go.
There you go.
John
Yep.
Krasinski. But yeah, so I know that all kind of plays into the same Jack Ryan, the Ryan universe or whatever they're calling it.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I know it plays into that. I don't know how, but you want to kind of do a quick breakdown or rundown of the plot of this movie?
Yeah. I'm gonna go based off a little bit of IMDb and kind of add in
Yeah,
my
yeah, for
own
sure.
little tidbits. So it shows an elite Navy SEAL who's John Kelly, right? John Kelly.
Yeah, John Kelly.
Uh, he's a Navy SEAL. He uncovers an international conspiracy while seeking justice for the murder of his pregnant wife. His wife was pregnant, dog. That scene killed me. It killed me
Oh
so
man.
much. Pretty much the way it starts off is he's on a mission, right? He's with the Navy SEALs. They're supposed to extract a hostage, and whole time, they were all supposed to die in that thing. The whole conspiracy that's going on is our government, U.S. government, is trying to set foreign threats, even though they're not threats. He's trying to frame them to be threats. So he's trying to
Yeah.
create enemies, and by doing so, by perpetrating these missions that they set up for Michael B. Jordan's character, they set him up to die, but he does not die. He's a guy that keeps
Yeah, he
going
just doesn't
and
give
will
up.
just he'll crawl his way to the finish line, no matter
Yeah.
what. He's Navy SEAL of the year. I swear he is. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of
Um,
a badass.
some CIA agents posing as Russian soldiers kill off his family in the middle of the night, along with other soldiers that were in that first mission. That first mission, everybody
Hmm.
was supposed to die. Michael B. Jordan's character got him to safety, and he saved them.
Yeah,
Him and his character, along with what's her name, Karen Greer, who's played by Jodie Turner Smith.
yeah.
Amazing job. She wasn't
She
like
was really good. I thought I liked her
she
as
was really
well.
good. Like she wasn't loud and like really like in your face as a character, but like she played some sly ass moves, and she was
She
really
was a
smooth
badass.
with
Yeah,
everything she did. Yeah, for sure, she was badass. Like she looked real skinny and scrawny, but don't let that fool you because she is
yeah.
badass.
Well, there's one scene where they do a breakdown after the Russians are getting revenge, kind of thing
Right,
from the mission that opened up the movie.
right.
And one of the CIA guy was like, "Oh, we don't know, all these Navy SEALs, they get into some shady shit." And she kind of looked down
Yeah,
at him like, "You motherfucker," but didn't say anything because she still respected him. And then when they left, she got in his face, is like, "Listen, you little slime ball, like, the fuck you saying about my guys?" I was like, "Damn."
for real.
So yeah, so she was a badass. She didn't really care, and I think she cared for John Kelly, not in a like sexual way or anything, but like they
Mm,
were a family. You know what I mean? So it was like they
right,
looked out for each other, even when she knew what he wanted to do, and she was like,
right,
"No, he can't come." And then people above her were
right.
like, "Nah, he needs to go." And obviously, you find out why
Shit.
later.
She was trying to save him. That's what it was.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
trying to save his character. She's the MVP of this whole film. I want to say, definitely Michael B. Jordan. Like he just like the ultimate badass, but she really came in clutch with information, with names and this and that. She was just a nice, what do you call it? Robin to the Batman, if you want to call it that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so the ICA, gets some supposed Russian soldiers to make hits on all these guys, and when they come to Michael B. Jordan's character, can't do it. And it comes to the point where he gets shot up. You'll see him on the stretcher. He's taken away, and he wants to like go after these guys, right? And he wants to get justice. And the government's like, "Nah, we're good. We're even. We're even. What you mean even?" And
Yeah.
supposedly Russia
What
was,
the fuck?
upset that. Yeah, see, there he goes, man. Fucking what a soldier, bravo. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
man, he
some
he
of that
he
shit
goes
is
above and beyond to try to get down to the bottom of everything that's going on.
yeah. So
Um,
this is Karen, and this is the scene where this guy, I can't remember his name, was throwing those Navy SEALs, John Kelly and all his buddies, under
yeah,
the bus, and she looked over at him like, "You motherfucker! Like, I'm gonna whoop your little white ass," and then she got
for
up in
real.
his face afterward, when they got out of the meeting.
The
But
whole time, Ritter, that's his name, Ritter.
Ritter, yeah,
He kept, and of course, I know you talked about this, but Tom Clancy really likes to throw you off on showing you who's the bad guy or who seems like the bad guy.
who you
Almost the
think
whole
is?
time, I thought he was the bad guy. I thought he was
Hmm.
behind setting up this whole operation and setting up their soldiers to get pretty much killed. I thought it was him, but we find out later on that he was actually a good guy. His heart was in the
Yeah,
right place, and he made the right moves that he thought were supposed to be put in place. Even though he knew, and this is what kind of conflicts me, he knew what he was putting Michael B. Jordan through, and that
yeah,
it could kill him. But he's like, nah, he's good. He's gonna do fine. He didn't say that,
yeah,
but like that's his whole, like what do you call it? His whole attitude is
yeah.
he. It looked like he was like an asshole, but he wasn't. He wasn't the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because right off the start, he was holding information from people,
He
you
was.
know, like he knew they were Russian when they first went in to save some guy, and he
Yeah.
told them they were Iran or Iraqi or something like that.
Syrian. Yeah,
Syrian,
yeah.
that's what it was,
It was a mission in
So, and
Syria.
then Michael B. Jordan knew right away. He goes, "Nah," he goes, "These are Russians, motherfucker, like military Russians. Like, what do you get us into?" And he's like, "Don't worry." I'm like, "Ah, man, he's gonna," you know,
Setting up
but yeah,
something
yeah.
fishy.
We keep
But yeah,
going.
man, this thing. So joining forces with fellow SEAL Jodie Turner Smith, who plays Karen, and a shadowy CIA agent Jamie Bell, Kelly's mission unwittingly exposes a covert plot, that threatens to engulf the U.S. and Russia in an all-out war. torn between personal honor and loyalty to his country, Kelly, who's John Clark or John Kelly, must fight his enemies without remorse if he hopes to avert disaster and reveal the powerful figures behind the conspiracy. So yeah, supposedly there's some guys that are behind the curtain that they run shit,
Yeah.
and he was kind of rough. He was barking up the tree that he wasn't supposed to, and they got pissed, so they wanted him dead. That's all that was.
And this guy, he always plays a bad guy. He was Secretary of State, I believe, or something like that.
Okay.
He always plays a bad. He was a bad guy in Iron Man. What 3? Iron Man 3. He was the fake. He was the fake Mandarin. Or one of the fake Mandarins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays a good bad guy. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely gives that man, he's evil as fuck.
Bad guy vibe.
Yeah.
So he's trying to save. He's trying to get revenge, but then he gets kind of caught up in more stuff.
Yeah, because his motives keep getting questioned by the government. They think that he's in on some stuff that he's not supposed to be fucking with. So it's at some point he ends up being a fugitive and a felon because he was what he thought was getting justice for his country and his family.
His family, right? So his wife.
He gets locked up. That was one of the coolest scenes in the movie. I think in my opinion. I think by far the prison scene when he gets locked up, it's one of my most favorite things to happen. He looks badass. He was so ready. If you see that scene, he knows that he gets sent to a prison that's Russian mob, like centralized. Like all the Russian mobs are right there in that joint, and they're setting him up to get killed. That's what it is. Every chapter in this movie is like we gotta kill him.
Yeah.
And he keeps coming out winning.
Yeah.
I thought he died, dog. I was almost about to shed a tear when
there was a few times he should have been dead.
He should have been dead, man. And he just fucking this guy's nuts.
Yeah. The the prison scene was super sick for me. Like you said, like it was just like how much of a badass this guy is. It was
what would you do if you knew a gang was out to get you and they're gonna pay off the guards to open up your cell door and you're just gonna get ramped? What do you do? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna freak out and scream like a little girl. Nah, you can't bitch out in prison. You definitely can't bitch out in prison. But no, like how do you if I tell you on the spot, how do you prepare for a gang about to whoop the shit out of you and kill you? With permission from the guards. How do you do that?
Yeah, they got permission.
He shows that off really well.
Yeah, man. He had like a shirt on the side that he like takes off and wraps. Well, they keep telling him like stand up kind of thing, and he's like, or you're coming with me, and they're all like, he's like, where? He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, I ain't moving until you tell me. So and he just sat there like a badass.
They asked him, right? They asked him, hey, turn around, face the wall, hands on the wall. That was important, right? Because doing that, you're not gonna see who's gonna walk in. You're not gonna witness any faces. They want to do him so dirty, and he's like, "Nah, fam. If you're gonna come at me, you better come at me, correct, and you better come at it as a man and come in 1-on-1," which they didn't. They sent in the whole fucking brigade to try to tear this dude down, and they didn't win. He won. He came out victorious in that feat, fending off against the whole brigade of correctional officers. Man, you see that guy on the left right there? He was done. He was done first move.
Like, well, he had them beating up each other so much too, which I thought was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool, man. And he was doing all those scenes himself. I applaud him for the nice job he did with all the choreography of like the fight scenes. That's pretty hard to get down.
Yeah,
dude. That whole acting.
So that picture that's up right now, that's like the only time he really takes off his shirt.
True.
He was jacked. I mean, he's usually already pretty ripped. I won't say really jacked, but he's pretty super ripped. Man, there he's like holy shit. So he grabs the white shirt and wraps it around his hand. Then he takes off his shirt he's wearing and tucks it into the sink and turns on the sink. Like, what is he doing? Then he starts splashing the water on the ground, splashing it on himself to make himself a little more
slippery.
Like slippery. And I was like, damn,
Yeah,
like little things like that. I was like,
he
I
was
would never
thinking.
even, yeah, And as soon as they came in, it was just like kicked up water and just started. Like, damn, man, that was
He,
awesome.
he like what he was doing there. He was making the conditions on his terms. He's like, I'm a I'm a Navy SEAL. I fuck with water, so I'm gonna bring the water to my domain, right?
Yeah,
He's like a fucking water Pokemon. He's like, I know I'm gonna win if I got water on my
yeah,
side. So
yeah.
that's what he did. Like that was smart, man. They were all kind of slipping too when they came down the long
Hmm.
hallway. Like the water by that time when they had to like bring in reinforcements, the water was already like a pool in that cell.
Yeah,
Like I swear it
yeah.
was. So they
But
were
yeah,
just
they had like every guard in the hallway ready to go. I was like,
he did.
Jesus, for one dude,
and and yeah, I mean, I want to say he's super jacked in this film. I saw in a few interviews that he talked about. He kind of now has this whole regime that he follows, following the Creed films that he was in. He was so
Yeah,
great in the Creed films. He had to get this whole boxing routine down and this whole fitness, on, and he's carried that into his other films now. It looks like because now he's just jacked 24/7. He must be
yeah. I mean,
sacrificing a whole lot.
yeah. I mean, he's an action star at this point because it's like he's
I
not gonna
agree.
do romantic comedies. He's not gonna do any of that stuff. I don't think his acting is his acting isn't that great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like him. He seems like a really cool person, but his acting is kind of like average at best. So
Right.
like he needs to have a role like this. I think where it's like very little talking and a lot of choreography, fighting scenes,
Hell
which
yeah.
is yeah, man, that's what I want. I don't want to hear him like give me a crazy like speech or anything, like Sam Wilson kind of did in Falcon Winter Soldier. I was
Right.
like, nah, Michael B. Jordan, I want to see you like beat up a bunch of people, dude.
And
So
they gave us what we wanted. And they
yeah,
definitely got a W for that. That was real dope seeing the hand to hand combat as well as the shooting and all that. Because he looked pretty dope doing that too. He looked like he knew what he was doing. I don't know if he got some kind of classes or maybe he went to the gun range or something, but he was holding the gun right.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of those times they go for like military training and stuff like that.
Right.
Um,
Like look at Keanu Reeves, man. That man, he could probably be in the military and be successful.
with all that gun training he's got.
Hell yeah.
But man, yeah, there's like these scenes that you see here, like where they go, so they find the Russian who got away because when after they killed his wife, one Russian got away. All right, so
Right.
he goes on this like hunting spree of like finding who it was. They find out who it was, kind of thing, and then he's going to kill him. Everyone else that is with him are going to arrest him, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker." You
Right.
know. And then
It's on a
when the
mission.
time came, which was awesome, I thought that was a really good scene where he went to go kill him, and the
Yeah.
guy was telling him, he goes, "Nah," he goes, "I'm not your enemy, dude. Like it's like we're both soldiers, we're both the good little boys that need to die," kind of thing. I was like, damn.
Shit.
And then you see like it changing, like he took his hand off the trigger, he's like, whoa, hey, let's talk, because the other guy has a bomb strapped to his chest.
He did. He did.
So
He's ready to
and he's
die.
telling him this whole thing. He goes, dude, I'm not who they say I am, like I'm a CIA, this and that. And I was like, shit. That was the big turning point of the movie, is when the guy he was supposed to kill wasn't who he said he was. It just wasn't USA versus Russia. It was like, oh, this is USA versus USA and blaming Russia. And then that's when it
Right?
kind of all became like more clear to him. And that whole scene with all those snipers, there's one
Ooh,
sniper,
man.
and then like he goes and grabs him, and there's another. He's like, God damn, there's a second sniper. And then they open the door, and there's a third sniper looking down. I was like, damn, they got him. But that whole action scene I thought was really, really good. Like in that apartment complex, the
Oh
cops
yeah.
came. The bad guys killed the cops. I was like, shit.
Shit, dude. In Russia, right? It was all in
Yeah,
Russia.
they're in Russia. They're in Russia.
Shit, if you can't trust the cops in Russia because they get shot up, then you're fucked.
Yeah, yeah, they were doing everything. They're like, oh, we can kill whoever we want because you're gonna get blamed for it. So it
Yeah,
was like we could be as bad as we want. And it was like,
it's
damn.
the perfect crime. I swear
Yeah.
it was.
So then that was the thing, was like they knew every person had to leave. Like no one no U.S. soldier could be found there because otherwise they get the war that the U.S. government wanted. So
Right.
Michael B. Jordan was like, "Well, I'm not a soldier anymore. I'm a felon because I went to jail." Blah blah blah. So
Mhm.
he decided to
Draw off the
like
attention or get the
yeah
aggro
yeah
to
yeah yeah
himself instead of his squad that went for yet another mission to get
yeah
revenge on the Russian
yeah.
soldiers.
Yeah, so he gets the diversion, like you said, and gets everyone's attention. He's up on the roof and shit, and it's
Mhm.
him versus like a bunch of military, police, and all that, and the people like wind up getting away. The one thing I thought was kind of weird was like they walk out the front door. I was like, why would you walk out the front door? Like, right? I'm like, okay, whatever,
Right.
but then they get in the car and then they drive directly in front of the cops where John Kelly's throwing grenades. I was like, that's the only street? What the fuck? That's the only thing that got me. I was like, why did you drive through that?
Oh my god.
Like,
Yeah.
go down the alley you were parked in. I was
they,
like, what?
they gave me like Simpsons vibes. There's only one street you run down and shit.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was like super kind of funny, but I mean, it didn't like take me out of the movie. I was like, yeah, whatever. They had to show them getting away.
Right.
But
The front door
but
though. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like the front door, and then you drive in front of the cops. I was like, what the fuck is this?
My thing is, how did he get out of that? How did he get out of that jam? That scene, it really was reminiscent of like it kind of made me feel like I was watching Scarface when at the very end when Scarface
mm,
dies. Spoiler alert! I don't
yeah,
know if you watch Scarface or not, but if you watch Scarface and everyone's out shooting at him, he dies. That's
yeah,
normal. That's what's supposed to happen.
yeah.
Not Michael B.
But
Jordan, not John Clark. He
yeah,
fucking gets out and shoots everyone. How did he not run out of ammo? Like
he did
he did.
because
Oh, he did a
he
few times.
he had the assault rifle, and then he it ran out, and when he threw that away.
Hmm.
And then he had the handgun, and that ran eventually. And then he was just like in this scene right here. If you, on
He
this,
does
he's just fighting them like hand to hand at that point.
right. He does
Mind
like
you, he's
choke
already
him
got a
out.
gunshot. Yeah,
Yeah, chokes him out. Then he steals his gun. But like, bro, he's anytime we're running squads in Call of Duty, he's on my team.
seriously, seriously, dude, seriously. But that was like, I'm like, so he eventually got out because he gets a bag, he makes a big explosion, and kind of like everyone, it's like a big flashbang explosion thing. So like everybody, kind of like hits the ground, and they're all kind of like disoriented, and then he just kind of walks out with wearing somebody's mask. But I'm like, but you have a whole different uniform on, you have everything. I was like, when did you put on somebody else's jacket? You just walked out.
I didn't see
And
that.
then, mind
Right?
you, you're the only black guy there, dude. I was like, I mean, granted, you have a mask on, with the hood and stuff like that. But I was like, you're in Russia,
Oh,
dude.
no.
Like, you know, it was him and Karen, which was his the leader of the group.
Right.
It was like you guys are the only black people in there. It's like,
Taking out like a sore thumb. Come on.
yeah, I was like,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
they
Yeah.
get the whole. No, man.
So, but yeah, that's why some things are a little like you gotta like suspend your
Your
like
beliefs.
the real world kind of stuff, because then he just walks into an ambulance and just takes off, and no
Yeah.
one no one says anything.
No
You
one's like, hey,
know?
wait, he's getting away. Like, there's none of that. Nothing.
Yeah, and then he drives, and then he drives to the place. I'm like, so no one tracked him. I was like, what? So, but
Hey guys, we're on one ambulance down. Where to go?
yeah,
None of
yeah,
that.
GPS, but. But yeah, I mean, like the same thing. It didn't take me out, but at the same time, I was like, like just like that, he just walks out and steals a car and he's gone.
Fucking
But I
Houdini.
mean, that's just like, that's just like just some crazy kind of movie kind of stuff,
Right.
not real world, um, but yeah, the way he gets away. And then I'm like, all right. I'm like, there's still like a half an hour left in the movie. I'm like, what else are they gonna do? Because I'm
Right.
like, that had to have been the big action sequence, because that was like 30 minutes alone,
That was a
in
lot.
that house kind of place.
Definitely.
What? Oh, you want to finish how it finished after that?
Um,
Because
after
I'm trying to
that,
remember.
he gets out. He meets up with his squad, and
Yeah.
then the whole point was they needed to get out. He got didn't he get information out of that of who was actually behind everything?
Yeah, from the fake. Oh yeah, the fake Russian guy that they went to go kill. He
Yeah.
told them everything. He's like, "Oh, your boss is. Oh, it comes from Washington D.C." That's what he said. He goes,
Okay.
"All of
Yeah,
this
that's
is
right.
from Washington." Yeah,
That's right. So then he finds out he has to go meet up with the evil villain from earlier. That's supposedly Team USA
yeah. He is.
and
I think he's the Secretary of State. In the
Secretary of
movie.
State. There you go.
Yeah, which is
And,
crazy.
doesn't he go after him? The fire scene, right? Was that
No,
moment?
the fire scene is in the beginning of the movie, where he's the guy who gave the guys the Russian passport.
Yes. Okay. Never mind.
At the end. Oh, he meets him in the bathroom.
Bathroom.
Yeah, he meets the Secretary of State in the bathroom. I don't know if they have a picture of it.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, he's like, he sees him. He's like, oh, I thought you were dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
He was like, yeah, this dude, that's Secretary of State.
Yes. Okay.
He's like at a restaurant. He's watching the news, and then then Michael B. Jordan or John Kelly, like snuck in somehow, like some toilers, some shit. I don't know. And it's like, oh, I have to tell you, like, and he kind of trips him up. He's like, like he gives him information that wasn't in the report or something like that, but
Oh
he
yeah,
knew it. So
yeah.
that's how John Kelly knew that he's the guy in charge. At least he's
Right,
a big part of it.
right. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. So yeah, that's right. Michael B. Jordan asked him, "Hey, this and this happened, um, and the and what's his name, Secretary of State is like, yeah, that's exactly what happened, and without even knowing that he admitted to his own wrongdoing,
Uh-huh.
and and then Michael B. Jordan's like, oh, you just confirmed it for me that you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Okay, I do remember
Yeah.
that. So, and then after that, and then he has all that recorded too. No,
Yeah, he like he chokes him out, which was crazy.
that was funny.
Chokes him out. I'm like, oh, is he gonna kill him like just like that? But then he winds up taking him to his car. Remember that was a good scene, the SUV, and he tells him like he's going to see his family in some like farm in Virginia or some shit like that. And he's like, I'm gonna kill your wife, I'm gonna kill your daughter, I'm gonna kill your son, I'm gonna
Oh
make you watch.
yeah,
And he starts losing it. The Secretary of State starts
he's cuffed up.
losing it.
He's
Yeah, he's
cuffed up.
cuffed up.
So yeah, he came. I remember. Okay, and
Yeah,
then that's when he just drives off. At some point, Michael B.
yeah,
Jordan's like, "How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna fuck with him and kill him and make it seem like an accident?" So
yeah,
he drives off a fucking cliff or like a bridge or something. Some real.
yeah. Well, I saw him put the seatbelt on. I'm like, oh, he's gonna crash the car. I don't know if you noticed that. Like,
I
might be
didn't catch
going.
that part.
He just casually puts his seatbelt on. He's like, oh,
I
okay.
did see
I was
that.
like,
I did see that. I
yeah,
didn't put two and two together. I guess. But yeah, and then he crashes, lands in the water, some lake or some bullshit, and then there's still air left in in the vehicle, and
yeah,
so Michael B. Jordan's telling the Secretary of State like, "Hey, you're gonna die, but before you die, you're gonna say my wife's name, Pam. You're gonna say that before you die because you cost her life, blah 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 blah." And he's just going off, and he's like, "You're gonna say her name, boom, gunshot to the knee. You gonna say her name now?" And he just keeps going off, and he does say his wife's name, Pam. He
yeah.
yells it out before he loses
And he
breath, and then
drowns. Yeah,
he drowns. And then Michael B. Jordan has a real interesting reaction to knowing his demise. He knows that he's gonna drown. He doesn't attempt to
yeah,
unseat but unbuckle his seatbelt. Um, like it looks like he wanted to suicide. I think he thought maybe he got his revenge, or I don't know, got the last laugh, or I don't know what. But he looked like he wanted to suicide at that moment. I thought he was
yeah.
going
Like
to
he was
suicide.
just. That's what I thought too.
And then we next scene we see that it was actually Karen that saves him. She jumps in. I guess maybe she knew about that. Maybe she followed him, or maybe she knew about it
Yeah,
all along.
Well, I'm sure I'm thinking they must have planned it or
I
something.
think
You know.
they probably did plan
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he's
But
very
yeah, because
well
then yeah,
organized. So
yeah,
yeah, they probably did plan it. I think you're right. And she comes, unbuckles him, gives him a fucking air tank. He breathes just fine, and he gets rescued. Pulls up, boom,
yeah,
murders the fucking Secretary of State.
yeah. Which was like kind of nuts. But he becomes like a ghost. He becomes ghosted or whatever they call it. You know, with
Right.
his like new fake name and stuff like that.
That's how he's earned his name, John Clark, because yeah, he's a hero. He did what he needed to do, but for him to continue on with life and be back on the grid, he had to get a whole new identity.
Yeah.
Whole
So
new.
John Kelly he had a whole burial. He was buried. He was in the ground,
Right.
and that was like towards the end, I think. And then Karen went to the funeral. She comes back in the car, and he's
He's in the
hanging
back
out in the
seat.
back seat. Yeah, I was like, damn.
Threw me
You
off.
know,
Threw
yeah.
me.
But I mean, at that point, I mean, you don't have any. Well, he doesn't have anything to live for. You know, his
Not
wife
really.
and his baby are gone. You know,
Right.
a lot of his friends are gone. You know, all he can really trust is Karen. You know, I mean, they don't
That's it.
obviously talk about like other family, brother, sister, mom, dad stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was like, damn. So he's just like, fuck it. You know,
Who can you trust when everybody betrays you? Except for Karen. Karen was the only one that really had his back before she said that whole, you can't handle that mission type shit. Even though that was her saving him. Like, who
yeah,
can he trust? He can't trust anyone. But yet he wants to create. He wants to keep going. He wants to keep fighting the
yeah.
good fight.
Yeah, that's the scene. And then he does say something like he goes, oh, I expected more people. Like there wasn't that a lot of people, and I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks. It's like if you're at your own funeral and you only see like 5 people. I was like,
Right.
um, yeah, but yeah, and then there was the post credit scene,
That's right.
which
So John
was
Clark, he goes up to someone. Who did he go up to? He walks
it's
up to somebody and pulls the whole
well,
Avengers bit.
yeah, he's standing there, and then that the guy who you thought was the bad guy
Oh,
from the
Ritter. That's
CIA.
Ritter.
Ritter. Yeah, he becomes the director now. You know, he's the director of
That's
the
right.
CIA. You know, because he
Okay.
told him like, "Oh, good job on the promotion" or some shit.
He did say
And
that. Yep.
yeah, because they got audio of the Secretary of State saying all that stuff, and he showed and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So he goes up
So
to him,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
he offers. He does the whole what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. He does his bit. He's like, "Hey,
I'm
I want
putting
to
a team
create a
together.
team together." Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's
That's
true.
exactly what like word for word. He's like, "Yeah, man, we got to save the world. Let's put a team together and let's fight the good fight."
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
that
that was
that,
kind of
that
funny.
sets up for a possible sequel. I want to say, yeah, it's gonna happen. A sequel for Rainbow Six. And why is it called Rainbow? We see early on in the film. I don't know if people caught that little Easter egg. What is But it's called Rainbow Six because I remember seeing some bullshit. Hold on.
Mm, I forgot why.
There was an image of a rainbow or something rainbow in the early of the film. And it was just shown for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Hey, yeah, let's call it Rainbow Six." No, he didn't say six, but he's like, "Let's call it
He said
Team Rainbow."
Rainbow.
Team
Yeah,
Rainbow
Team
or
Rainbow.
something.
Um, yeah, I don't know why.
That's interesting.
Like I said, I've read Rainbow Six. That's the only Tom Clancy book I have in my collection of books. But I don't remember because I know it's supposed to be multinational kind of thing. So I
Yeah,
don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
could
you
be.
know, yeah,
Or no, I don't know. Isn't I want to say when you have when women, right? Although his wife died, so that wouldn't make sense either. I was gonna
yeah.
say, what if like because his wife's his baby girl died, that would be considered a rainbow baby if you were to have another kid, something like that.
Oh, I
You
have
ever
no
hear of
idea.
that? There's a
No,
term for that. Like let's say you have a miscarriage and then you have another kid after that, that'd be your rainbow baby. I don't know why rainbow baby, but it would be
Hmm.
you're rainbow baby because you lost one kid, something like that.
I can see that. I was kind of thinking of like more of a civil rights kind of movement, because in the 60s is when, the Black Panther got all these like gangs and the KKK and stuff like that. If you watched what the hell is it called? Um Judas and the Black Messiah. They talk about that with Fred Hampton. He's from Chicago. He's part of the Black Panther Party of Chicago and stuff like that. And they made the Rainbow Coalition, which is still a thing in Chicago. Me and you from Chicago, so we hear that a lot. So I'm like, maybe that's what he's doing. He's like, hey, we're getting all these people who you don't think should get together. Same thing the way he did back then. We're gonna do it again now. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure.
Say her name.
Yeah, I'm looking at like different things, and it's like, yeah, it's just he forms a super secret multinational anti-terrorism group codenamed Rainbow. Since Clark is the commander, he is known as Rainbow Six. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really say why. I don't know. Maybe that might be a new thing that they're doing just for the movies.
Right.
I can't remember. Also, like I said, it's been over 10 years, maybe since I read the books.
Right.
Or read the book. And it's a big ass book, man. I don't know if you ever see it. It's like, yeah.
I've seen them when I go to the library. I would see a lot of Tom Clancy's books. They're always super thick, super long. At least like what 400 pages on the motherfuckers.
I think that's about 700 pages.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah, about a 700 page. Yeah. Yeah. If you ever go to the Goodwill, you go to like any thrift store, in the book section, there's always a few Tom Clancy books there. Always.
I've seen them. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, but they're big boys. I think that's where I got my copy of Rainbow Six was from a Goodwill, because it was a hard copy, nice big one. It was nice. It was clean.
Dope.
But yeah, that's the only one. My girlfriend makes fun of me all the time. Yeah, hardcover. She makes fun of me. She goes, "Oh, you got a Tom Clancy book?" I'm like, "Yeah, but that one's badass. That was a good story. I liked it."
There you go, man.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, so when we were getting ready to start before we went live, I was looking up at some things, and I saw that Michael B. Jordan has signed a 2-film deal with Paramount for this universe, the Tom Clancy universe that they're doing. So this is one. So I think the second one is probably going to be a Rainbow Six, which would be pretty awesome if that's the way. I this movie got good reviews across the board. I think from most people, even people that I know that are not even into this kind of stuff watched it and were like, "Oh, it was a good movie." I was like, "Really? You like that too?" I'm like, okay, like this. I was like, so it was just a good movie, and
I will say I was not expecting it to be as good as I thought it was going to be. I didn't think so, man. Like the idea when I before I even watched the movie, I kind of read a little synopsis of it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, very, very cliche, but it could work." And then I watch it, and I'm like, "Oh, storytelling is pretty decent," and they really kind of go deeper and deeper and deeper, and they really like thought it out. So I thought they did a good job, storytelling wise, for sure.
Yeah, it's not bad. I liked it a lot. I don't know who the director was. What was this? I don't know if it was like anybody famous or anything like that. Stefano Sollima.
Yep.
No idea who that is.
Never heard of them.
He's an Italian director. He's best known for his gritty crime drama films such as All Cops Are Bastards, Suburbia, and Sicario: Day of the Soldado.
Sicario, very good film.
Is
oh man, that's
crazy
good.
film, dude. Crazy film. So
you saw it?
This is the first one. I know there's a second one.
Oh, the second one? Fuck.
Yeah, I heard it's not as good, but the first one is, man, it is
Del Toro, right?
Kind of Del Toro, yeah.
Yeah.
Del Toro's in it. Yeah, that first one was, and it makes sense now why this movie was good with the action, because that movie was violent.
Hell yeah.
violent, but it was good. That one was really good too. Yeah, so yeah, he did a good job. I thought directing.
I think so, man. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
man.
mean,
When it comes to kind of military based or action packed movies, there's my main thing. What I look forward to is action. They definitely
mhm,
pulled through with the action.
big
Storytelling
time.
was good. Color scheme, right? The color things of how everything was showing up in lighting and the grittiness and the darks and all that. They got that pretty down for this film. I will say that. If
Yeah,
you have like, oh,
so Sicario
Sicario,
was great.
hell
Sicario was great, and this is the same director, so
I got that same
you know
vibe.
what you get.
Hell yeah. But they
Yeah,
definitely they did a good job, man, with this film. They could do better. I want to say they could definitely do better, but I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest.
what's that?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know where to start if I were to try to make this movie better. What could you
Mm.
change, or what could you interchange and have it do better? I wouldn't be able to tell you. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good flow, fast enough, but not too fast where you're like, wait, what's going on? It was just like you understood what was going on all the time, kind of stuff. Um,
Oh yeah,
I gotta one thing we didn't really talk about was I really wasn't too surprised at the whole movie. Is like I knew who you thought who was going to be the bad guy wasn't really the bad guy because that's just what Tom Clancy does.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, look over there, haha, made you look. You know, like you should have looked that way, kind of thing. You know,
right.
so nothing like really surprised me too much. You know,
But I don't know. Would you watch this one again, Kramer?
yeah, probably. I liked it.
Would you watch it in theaters?
Mm,
Is a blockbuster film to you? That's what really.
Nah, honestly, if it was out in theaters, I, I would have to go by myself because my girlfriend when I go see it, she doesn't like Tom Clancy's kind of stuff,
Okay.
and I don't think it was really. I don't think theaters is the good one. Maybe for the second one because this one got some hype going. I can
Right.
see if they do a second one, or spin off more Tom Clancy shit. I can see them doing stuff like that. So I wouldn't go to the theater to see this one. I'm kind of glad it's on Amazon. I think that's the perfect spot for it.
I
Watch it at
agree.
home and stuff like that. I don't know. What about you, Will? You watch it again or?
I'd watch it again. Surprisingly, I would watch it again. I feel like there was a few things that I missed that I feel like I want to catch up on and see like if there's more Easter eggs for maybe more Rainbow Six stuff. Who knows? But I would watch it again once more. Besides that, would I recommend a friend to watch it? Yeah. Should you
Fredo.
see it in the theater? No, I don't think you should see it in theater. I think
Yeah,
you hit it right there in the nail. You should watch it at home on Amazon Prime for sure.
yeah, yeah. I think that's the best spot. This is definitely a streaming movie.
Mhm.
It's definitely a streaming movie. The sequel, whenever they do it, maybe. I mean, obviously, it probably will come out in theaters, but I don't think it's going to do that great.
No.
But yeah, I think this is the best spot for it, man. Just give me high quality, me throw it on my TV, on my phone, and it looked good the entire movie. So,
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed it. But yeah, I do want to watch it again because I want to see how exactly, because it is tied into the Jack Ryan universe. Because I think that guy is in it, but I'm not sure if they drop any hints. And also, I don't know the Jack Ryan universe, so
Right.
so I don't know if maybe they said his name or something like that. But
They're probably name dropped. Maybe.
yeah.
I'll just
It's
take
less than 2 hours, which I think is a perfect time for. It's like an hour and 50 or some or an
Mhm.
hour 40 something,
Right.
which I think is like a perfect runtime for a movie like this.
Yeah, it ain't that bad. Then maybe I could
Yeah.
probably knock it out tonight, if anything, on my computer while I'm getting ready for tomorrow's show.
Yeah,
It didn't.
yeah.
It didn't drag on. It didn't drag on. I felt like it was the right amount right before it got to be too much. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So it kept
I agree.
going.
Yeah, it went fast. It went like we were saying. It went fast enough. The pace was perfect. I thought it was really well done. Really well done. And I think most of the reviews on it. I don't know what is it on Rotten Tomatoes. Most of the reviews on it are pretty positive, which is pretty good.
if you can sit down for Black Hawk Down, you can sit down for this film for sure.
Black Hawk
That
Down
one's
was really good.
and really long.
Yeah.
It was really good. I enjoyed a movie like that. So this one really.
So it didn't do too good on Rotten Tomatoes. It got 44% on the meter, and audience score of 45. I was like, wow, really?
I was looking at some of the reviews, and I was looking at mostly negative reviews. They were like, "This guy follows the same formula, blah blah blah." Okay, we get it.
Yeah, that's Tom Clancy.
That's
Yeah.
Tom
So
Clancy.
the critic consensus is, despite a commanding performance from Michael B. Jordan, Without Remorse fails to escape the outdated patriarch tropes and forced franchise place settings. Which basically what you just said. Well, it's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's all his movies are the same. You know, all his books are the same. It's the same story. The same thing with like what I said with Sherlock Holmes. Like, it's the same formula every single time, and here's like 100 books. You know, so
Right.
it's the same thing with Tom Clancy. You know, if you played any of the video games, you know, like, we're going to kill blah 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 government, and then you find out what, it's our government. It's like, there you go.
You do what works. You do what works.
Yeah. So, and that's like not anything new, and obviously he's been writing so many of these damn books, but
they rate themselves, huh?
Yeah, basically.
That's
so yeah, so out of how many basically how many stars would you give this one out of 5?
If I had to give it out of 5 stars, oof, it sounds pretty bad, but I'm giving it a 3. 3. That's a pretty low number, just because low for, like, if someone hears 3 out of 5, they're like, oh, that movie probably sucked. You know, you get a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, and it's like, damn, you got to watch it multiple times.
Yeah. So real quick before I give mine, Martin said, do what I do, Fredo. I play these spoiler kings in the background while I do homework and get the rundown from these films. Yeah.
You know what? Instead of the movie review, that should be your name, the Spoiler King.
Yeah, that's what we were saying when Martin, he goes, all these guys are the kings of spoiler. I'm like, Spoiler Kings reviews. There you go. That I like that name.
Yeah,
I like that name. I like it. I actually like that name.
Good job, Martin. I don't even think he meant to do that. I
no,
think he just titled it. That's how it goes, man. You just get it sometimes. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Just listen to us in the background.
Let's look that up real quick, just to be sure, man.
Yeah, I know it's probably taken, but I do like
Kings.
It. So while you do that, I'm probably in the same boat with you. Probably 3 stars. I think is good enough. It's not like the greatest movie ever, you know, by any means, but it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. You know, maybe slightly better than average. You know, I liked it. You know, definitely up there, C+, B- kind of range. You know, for me, it was fun. I knew what I was expecting when I came in. And it's still kind of like, I'm like, oh, the action was really well done. Michael B. Jordan was good, you know. So, yeah, you know, some of these people, I don't know if they go in and expecting something else. It says Tom Clancy on the damn name. You know what it's gonna be, you know.
You know what you signed up for. Come on.
You know, same thing when you see Zack Snyder's name. You know it's gonna be dark and gritty, and somebody's gonna do something that they shouldn't do. You know, so you know you kind of get all that same stuff.
True.
No, it wasn't intentional, but hey, we're running with the Nerd Huddle Entertainment rate. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
I like that one too.
About that. I do like that one too, but there's other guys that have it, which kind of suck. But they don't have that many. That's a conversation off air.
Spoiler King's taken.
Yeah, so is Spoiler King's taken?
So I looked it up, and there is something Spoiler Kings by Kings Gamers. It's one video. They ain't shit. We're taking it.
Okay, so then what? We can just we're
just gonna be Spoiler Kings, like,
or just Spoiler Queens.
Spoiler. if you joined, I'm kidding.
When I look up Spoiler King, it was actually like a car company that makes spoilers.
Okay, let's see.
So we can always go Spoiler King reviews, you know, Spoiler King movies or something like that along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like that. I'm down for that, man.
We're inching closer.
I think we have a name. I think we have a name.
Besides that,
Cool.
film, great film. I think you should watch it. I don't really have any last things to say. I will say that we do need to see more Michael B. Jordan on film on the big screen. I think he has potential. I think he can do. I think he could do a lot more. His acting, I know he's not really known for his acting, but I think he can develop. Look at fucking look at 50 Cent. He's a terrible actor. He got better.
He got a little better. Yeah.
He got better. And in time maybe he can get his storytelling more on point. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more Michael B. Jordan in action films. I like him in action films. I don't want to see him try to talk or be somebody he's not. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you're high action, crazy violent kind of actor. Stick to it.
Right. Imagine Michael B. Jordan rebooting 50 First Dates or something. Nope.
Yeah. Like he played a lawyer or something like that, and it just didn't go well. I don't know. He doesn't have that range to change who he is to something like that. You know what I mean? So
right.
But yeah, man. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of Movie Review. I think we just call it Spoiler Kings Movie Review.
Right.
But yeah, so we did Without Remorse this week. Next week we're doing Wrath of Man, unless you want to change it. That's another high action guy who can't act but is really good at action. Jason Statham. Wrath of Man.
Jason Statham, hell yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. So it is going to be. It's a Guy Ritchie film, I believe. It is one that I was super excited. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, hell yes. Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham, crazy violence. I'm
Let's
down.
Go.
It's gonna be so good. I believe it's a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah, it is. Tom Clancy could probably take some notes.
There you go.
Yeah. Guy Ritchie. So that's gonna be a really awesome one next week for that. And then let me pull this up. And then we got everything else this week. So tomorrow we got Panda and Grizzly with Alfredo, that's right here, and Brian. They're gonna do the Bears draft breakdown, which I'm super excited about. I'm super happy as a Bears fan. And then Wednesday we got Martin, who's in the comments hanging out with us, and Mark. They're doing the Dynasty Pylon over on the Dynasty Pylon YouTube channel, where they do IDP and Dynasty fantasy football stuff, and I think they're really going to start going into their IDP, which is individual defensive players, which is going to be pretty cool. And then Thursdays, me and Fredo, and we're do whatever's popping this week. I know MCU dropped some big news today, which I know we're going to talk about that on Thursday, so I'm super excited about that. Because
1 second, Thursday, I'm not going to be able to.
Okay. So
flying to New York.
So we'll have somebody else fill in.
Yeah.
He's gonna be out.
Right. I'm going on vacation, and Sunday I won't be able to either. Okay. The family just got together. We got our plans, so I'm pretty much booked.
All good.
So it'll be me and a replacement for Fredo for that week, which is fine. So we'll talk about whatever else is going on. It's still early in the week too, so many more things can happen. And then Sunday is Morning Spike, where we do fantasy football, NFL news. We just get a bunch of us in there and do that. And now I think we're going to talk about more of the draft. We're going to start breaking down different divisions, which will be fun. We're going to do that.
Dope.
Then, yeah, man, if you guys are not subscribed, Justin Fields, there it is. Justin Soldier Fields.
Oh, right. Shit.
Soldier Fields.
All right.
We gotta use that name now because they might move to Algonquin or wherever.
I was reading about it. I heard the Bears are like, nah. Algonquin.
They better chill.
Ain't no one going out to Algonquin. Well, on Thursday, maybe. We'll see.
Possibly you and possibly me, maybe.
Investors. I don't think I have that sound clip. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Twitch channel, follow us on Facebook, all that good stuff. Leave comments, all that stuff. And we will see you guys here tomorrow with the Panda and Grizzly Show.
Woo!
Have a good one, guys.
Later.